Hey folks, it's Joshua here. Just wanted to start off by showing you a tour of where I live and the conditions as such that are in here. Let's start off in the little main entry here. Let me see how to flip my camera around here. I just turned I do apologize for that. Still new to the live thing. As you can see, there's all kinds of insects, termites, roaches, everything in that light that is just dead. That is absolutely disgusting. And this door here has been broken for well over a year. And somebody has appeared to have rigged something to the door. I do not know what that is. And it's unsafe if you ask me. As far as access, that's one of the few things that still works. As you see, there's an RFID card that buzzes you in. Now, as far as the condition of the rest of the building, let's show you. Now, keep in mind, this is Anderson Fisher Apartments in Mobile, Alabama, managed by Accessible Space. Their slogan is housing with care. Well, let me show you just how much care they've put into things. Turn this around here. You can see here's the main lobby, which, on all appearances looks nice. Nice little chairs, tables, all that, of course, your mailboxes. But here's what I want y'all to focus on. The condition of the vents, the lights, everything in here is dirty. And the carpet is a whole nother story. This carpet downstairs here, I'm actually going to roll while I record here because this carpet is absolutely disgusting. I don't know if... Let me swap hands here because I'm better operating with my right hand with this chair. As you can see, the flooring is absolutely just gross. Yes, they do have Mary Maids come in, but really all Mary Maids does is they change out the trash cans once in a while. Half the time they forget. They sprinkle some cinnamon spray in the hallways and vacuum, which really doesn't do any good. Because as you can see, the condition of this carpet is absolutely disgusting. And as you can see, we've got lights out that are blown out in the building. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, let me make a quick turnaround and I'll go upstairs and show you the upstairs. I'm strictly doing this while nobody's around, just for their own anonymity and privacy. There are some people in the community room playing cards, but that's their business, so let's leave them be. The community room is actually pretty well kept, but as you can see as I roll through here, you can see the stains and the just outright filth in this carpet. The elevator is a whole nother question. And of course you have the one room I forgot here to show y'all. And I hope this goes viral. I honestly do. Because I want people to see the conditions that Accessible Space Incorporated as management is just letting go, just ignoring. This is the laundry facilities. There are communal facilities, coin-operated washer and dryers. Now, these are, for the most part, clean some of the time. And I say that because there are certain people who shall not be named that will put filthy and soiled clothes into the washers and dryers with fecal matter. And we have brought that to the attention of ASI, and all they have done is put out memos asking people not to do that. And it seems like nothing is getting their attention. Recently, we got a notice about being 25 feet from a building while smoking, and if we smell marijuana, to call the police. But here's the other matter with that. The police cannot enter the building if there's no on-site management, which there is not. We are promised in our lease that there is a on-site caretaker that lives on-site. There's actually a caretaker unit here. Or we have 24-hour on-call maintenance, which right now and for the past year has not existed. And it's been an on and off thing. Now, let me explain something about the elevator. Notice, no certificate of inspection. Nothing. This thing has had problems, like today, for instance. It locked shut. And for 4 hours, I was trapped upstairs. And I know I shot a couple of videos while I was upstairs. There's a saying that goes around here quite a lot. If it's not nailed down, somebody's going to steal it. I kid you not, someone actually stole the compressor for the garbage chute, as you can see here, and I will show you. You were supposed to hit this button and it will open. As you can see, nothing is happening, and you actually have to pull this down to open this, which it is heavy, and it is sharp, and as you can see, it is also very filthy, which garbage chute, I'm not going to complain about that being dirty, because, hey, garbage is garbage, but somebody should be cleaning this stuff. Now let's get to the vents. As you can see, we've got a couple more lights out up here. I mean, just look at the amount of dirt and dust, and you can see clear water damage on the tiles. Sometimes they just spray paint over it. And yes, as you can see, they have cameras in here, so if they can see me doing this, why can't they see what kind of condition this building is in? So if they want to come at me with any kind of reprisal, go for it. I don't care. I'm moving out on Monday. I mean, just look at this. The actual state of the carpet is just horrible. I know some of this comes from wheelchair usage, and some of it does not. Some of it is just straight up just nastiness. As far as getting things repaired, it's about as easy as getting blood out of a turnip. Because they say, oh, you have to put in a written request. Well, if there's no on-site maintenance or on-site caretaker, which we are promised in our lease, which by them not having one, they're in direct breach of their own contract. The only way we can submit a request is through a non-emergency maintenance hotline, and I'm going to enter my unit now, which, mind you, I do have an automatic door, which took 2 years of complaining to actually get. Now, I do have some boxes and some dishes in the sink, but I'm packing everything up because, as I said Monday, I am moving. Now, let me show you a few things in here that I have tried to get fixed and to no avail. For a solid 2.5 months, I was without a stove. It's a brand new stove, ceramic top. If it wasn't for my Uncle Randall, I wouldn't have been able to cook for a good while because he bought me this for my birthday. Now, I have photos, and I will post another reel with the photos in it pertaining to the stove situation here. For 2.5 months, I sat without a stove, and then they decided, okay, well, they delivered a stove, and it's literally sat in my apartment for a good almost 3.5 weeks in the box, in that same spot right here. And instead of having an electrician come and install it, they had Howard Services, which is an HVAC technician, come out and install it. They were just as confused as I was. Now, let me show you how they fix things around here. I know people in wheelchairs bump into things and things happen, but let me show you some things. Their idea of fixing a door that has been basically destroyed, this is the AC unit door, which contains of course, the whole unit for the AC and furnace. We're not even allowed to have a key to this because they consider that a, quote, safety hazard. And their idea of fixing the door where it was destroyed because there was some large holes in it was just to screw some metal kick plates over it and spackle right there in the middle. And I'm also doing this walkthrough, or roll through if you will, through my apartment for my own protection and for anything else, just in case they try anything with me. And bathroom, and you know, as I said before, their slogan is housing with care, but really they don't care. As you can see, I have a dent from where I fell out of my wheelchair and planted my forehead into the wall, which really hurt. As far as the shower goes, there's all kinds of problem with the flooring in here. The people that had installed the flooring never took up the original flooring. They literally plastered vinyl linoleum or sheet linoleum over the old flooring, and as you can see there, it is peeling up there from water damage from the shower, because that shower dam is absolutely useless. And just to show you another thing, the water pressure in this building, in the shower, the water pressure in the sink's fine. Kitchen sink, bathroom sink, it's okay. But in the shower, not to be crude, but I could probably pee harder than that. And it's ridiculous. I mean, and not only that, half the time they're messing around with the temps, and we're not even allowed to replace the shower head with something like a high pressure shower head, simply because it is a lease violation. We have to go to the doctor to get a reasonable accommodation just to swap out a shower head, which to me is one of the most ridiculous things. Now, let me move on to the rest of the floor and the other problems in here. As I stated before, the furnace door here, that's an issue. Turn on some more lights here. Sorry, folks, I live in the dark. I enjoy it. Maybe it's so I don't have to look at all this junk. Their idea of fixing a floor that was peeling up and becoming a trip hazard was to nail down a metal transition strip to the floor like you would put for threshold for carpet. And none of the original kitchen tile that was VCT tile that's underneath here was ever removed. And as proof of that, there is a hole right here showing the old VCT tile, and this is where I actually had to glue my floor back together because it was splitting. And it's getting worse in the bedroom as well. Sorry about that. Now, as far as the ceiling goes. I don't know if you can make that out clear on camera, but there is a crack in my ceiling running from my neighbor's apartment all the way into the caretaker unit next door. Now, let's get into the dirty things. The vents, as you can see, which me being in a wheelchair, I know I have an assistant, but she can't actually unscrew these things and get in there. That is absolutely disgusting, and keep in mind I am breathing that in. We haven't had clean air filters in almost 8 months, and that is a serious problem. I'm not even going to show you my AC filter because it is absolutely disgusting, but what I will show you is this vent right here. As you can see, the ceiling is starting to turn black from either mold or dust or a combination of both. Now, my bedroom, I do have some stuff piled up on a futon, but like I said, I'm moving and I don't really care. As I stated before, this crack runs through the building. It's even in my bedroom. You can see a separation there between the sheetrock and the ceiling. And the vent is absolutely terrible. And that blows actually directly on my bed. At one point, I had to call 1-800-GOT-JUNK because the mold and mildew got so bad I had to liquidate all my furniture or get rid of it. Simply because of mold and mildew, because it was not salvageable. Now, look at this. It is peeling up so bad that if I tried to walk in here or step into that closet, I could cut my foot on that vinyl. And do they care? No, they don't. You put in a service request, they get to it eventually. Maybe 3 to 6 months from now. And it's just the way that they talk to you and their demeanor is absolutely horrible. This is some of the worst slumlord behavior I've ever seen. And let's talk about the big elephant in the room here. That would be these doors. Under ADA code, doors have to be 36 inches in width. I had my DME technician measure these doors. They're not even 26. And I can't tell you how many times I've clipped my chair going through them. Just overall problems. I've submitted requests to get my flooring repaired, and I'm always told, well, it's just a request. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. They always say, well, we don't have the funding. They always talk about the fact of, oh, well, you're missing rent here or you're missing rent there. But they can never provide, they always provide a dollar amount, but they can never provide an exact ledger and show you the date of where the money is coming from. And as I said, I submitted a painting agreement to have my apartment repainted and refloored, and as I was told, it was a request. And it's honestly a shame. And you know, like I said, as you can see, the walls in here, it's all flat paint and it's horrible. You can't clean it because if you try to scrub it, you end up taking the paint off the walls. And even underneath my sink, as you can see, yes, they do have a protective covering over the pipe so you don't hit it, but they could go with a better pipe fitting to accommodate a wheelchair better, because honestly it's not functionable, and I really don't understand it. One bit, to be honest. I mean, I've lived here 7 years, and in the 7 years I've lived here, we've gone through 4 or 5 caretakers. Either they have been caught drinking on the job, stealing, being violent with tenants. It's an absolute mess. I, however, am going to go downstairs and finish enjoying my cigar. I hope you guys see this, share this, because honestly speaking, this is not a place fit for handicapped or disabled people. I mean, when you have to literally complain for 2 years just to get an automatic door. And I did put in for a ground floor apartment here, but even after submitting paperwork from my doctor, I was told I needed a valid reason as to why it was not safe for me to be upstairs. I will quote exactly what the fire chief said when they came out today about the elevator. It is illegal for them to have wheelchairs upstairs due to fire hazards. Because, yes, I may only weigh 180 pounds, but my wheelchair is 425 pounds. You want to explain to me how I'm supposed to fly down a flight of stairs? If this elevator so happens to malfunction or lock shut during a fire, which it is supposed to do. And I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. And it's just honestly a shame because it's so lackadaisical that even the last caretaker they fired, they still haven't taken down the memos and stuff that's got his name, numbers, contact numbers, and all that business on it. We've had homeless people camping out up here. We've had numerous drug problems, just all kinds of stuff, and it's honestly a mess. I don't understand it one bit. I really don't. There is a very extensive no trespass list, but the police cannot enter the building because there is no staff. And that is the issue, and I don't understand why that is. Why they won't keep staff on hand. And even the doors I'm going through now, this door here, this first one is 24 inches in width. Actually 26, excuse me. This secondary one that's broken, it's been broken for well over a year, is only 24 inches in width, which is not set to ADA code, which is supposed to be 36 inches. And the phrase that I kept repeating, I will show you. Yeah, they have a nice posted no trespassing, but problem is, they say as long as it's an invited guest of another tenant, it doesn't matter if they've been trespassed. As you can see there, housing with care. They really don't care, do they? And on their website, which they need to update, the photos of the building, the exterior photos they have online are literally over 13 years old, probably at least 15 years old, because this awning on their website, none of this is on the website. This is all flat, and none of it's there. Allow me to show you the condition of the siding out here. It's better to see it in daylight. I understand that. I will do another live tomorrow. There is mold and mildew growing all over the gutters, the siding. It's absolutely disgusting. And yeah, they do have landscapers that come out here and things of that nature. But as far as getting something done as an individual tenant, it's extremely difficult. Not to mention, if there are problems going on, I've been told by certain people whose names I will not mention just to protect their own anonymity, that the only way that they can do anything about the rampant drug use in here is to, quote, catch the people in the act. Complaining about the second floor smelling like a cannabis factory, or smelling like crack or dope or whatever you want to call it, is pointless because they don't want to do anything about it. As you can see, there is mold and mildew growing all over this. This needs to all be pressure washed, which they've failed to do because, as they say, they don't have the funding. But right now they have vacant units sitting that they have had the money to put brand new floors in, brand new stoves, brand new paint jobs, but yet anything else that needs to be done for the current people that live here, they just don't seem to have the funding. It's a little ironic. And just to show you what I mean by the cracks in the building and how the building is severely settling, as you can see, I'm rolling over the pavement and it's severely uneven. That's not my hand shaking, that's my entire chair rattling because everything is uneven. I don't know if I'd be able to get a clear shot of this on camera, but even there's units upstairs where the windows have blown out from the building actually shifting, and it's just, the state of affairs of the building is absolutely horrid. And when I spoke to the Federal Office of HUD out of Jacksonville, Florida, I was asked why it is there's nobody to collect the rent money. And because I explained that we mail it in, and then she asked me, well, why is there nobody there to collect it? There's nobody over in the office. That's because they don't want to hire anybody. They always say people don't want to work. Well, when you have a quote-unquote property caretaker and anything that needs to be done, they have to get accessible spaces approval to do so. What's the point in even having a caretaker? Because if stuff needs to be fixed, why does it need to be submitted to ASI when we have an on-site caretaker? Why can't it just be taken care of and the paperwork filed after it's done? And the amount of information that they ask you for when living here as a disabled individual is ridiculous. We're talking doctor's offices, numbers, medications that you take, I mean, all kind of stuff that is really none of their business. But it is what it is. This is where I live, and this is just the property tour. This is what's going on here. It's an absolute nightmare. Sorry for that little turnaround, but I didn't want to have somebody on video because I'm just trying to keep everybody's privacy private, of course. But it's honestly a shame. And as you can see, the sidewalks have shifted so much that's one of the reasons I know I have the upright walker and things like that. I use it in my apartment from time to time. I've actually graduated from that to a cane, but I will not use it out here because, as you can see, my phone bounce. This pavement is so uneven. I don't need my walker turning over or me eating the pavement and ending up in the hospital. And 9 times out of 10, the generator is out of diesel. And we've had fire alarms go off, and the fire department doesn't reset the alarms because they're under the assumption that we have a on-site caretaker or on-site management, which we do not. And literally for the last 3 weeks, we have had to listen to an alarm beep simply because the alarm was not reset. They have a caretaker that comes from their Hoover property in northern Alabama to handle things from time to time. And it's rare when we see him. And it's, like I said, it's a shame. But I'm going to end this live here because you've seen what you need to see. The name of the place is Anderson Fisher Apartments. It's located in West Mobile. I don't encourage disabled folks to move in here until they get their act together as far as getting this place properly managed and taken care of. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the tour. I know some of it was disgusting. But, that's when it comes down to it. It's kind of subsidized housing in a nutshell. You got good, you got the bad. You got bad everywhere, you got good everywhere. It's few and far between. But it really is a shame that we have to fight just to get simple things done. I mean, when it takes 2 months to get a toilet fixed, and the fact that it took them 6 months to replace my AC coil after it went out, which caused me to have to get rid of my furniture because of the moisture that was getting in my apartment. But that's alright. I was never reimbursed for that, which I should have been. But yet they're still content on saying that I owe them money. But yet they've never shown me a date on a ledger showing where they're missing money. I have my receipts. Where are theirs? And that's where I'm going to end it, folks. I hope y'all have a good night. Stay aware. Be safe. Be careful where you live. Because there's a lot of problems. And as far as the drug usage, this place is a drug user's paradise. There is every form of narcotic you could think of that is in this building. We have complained about it. We have written emails. We've written letters. We've sent photos. We've sent videos. Hell, at one point I found a crack stem on the sidewalk. and another tenant actually crushed it because we don't need that around here. We don't. Nobody should have to live like this. They have cameras, and they say that they view them, but the thing is, the last caretaker that was here stole the drive to the cameras, so conveniently they can be watched, but they cannot be backed up. That is the problem. So, and like I said, even the police said they can't enter the building without on-site management, which is a damned shame. Y'all have a lovely evening. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I'm going to get back to finishing my cigar. I love you guys. Talk to you later.